Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pig City Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Zackery Ivey, and today we are talking our final playoff predictions, the last episode we will record talking about the preseason of the NFL in 2025. Alexander, the next time we talk, we will be assessing actual real games that are about to occur. How you feeling?
Dude,
And
I'm
introduce,
feeling
terrible intro by me, I'll say it.
yeah, I'm Alexander Walker, by the way, the co-host. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty great, dude. Football is literally less than 4 days away. Like, I'm hyped. Like, I'm ready for it to start. Just get the season going. It's just one of the best sports just to get into, period. And it's just fun. And then, I'm also in a way just ready for the start of the season because it's always something wild happens in like the first 1 or 2 weeks that you're not prepared for before teams start figuring out. So yeah,
Yeah, we
excited.
we had, in some of our preseason meetings, we ran the idea of going back to last year and seeing what happened in week 1, but there was a couple wacky things, but we decided against it. But that's crazy to look back and see how different we were going to feel in 5 weeks. So we know a lot of you have disagreed with our predictions and what we've said. You might disagree with these as well, but it's part of the process and getting us ready, excited. Alexander, we just had our Pig City live draft this past weekend. That clip is shared out of the draft board, so we've been getting comments all across, and I want to say one more time, thank you all for the engagement. Follow and subscribe. I know we're getting a lot of engagement with views and likes and comments, but it really does help to push it up in the feed. And I know if you are someone that watches or listens on YouTube, thank you. And obviously you're hearing this, but seriously do that because that actually helps us more than anything. Most of you are watching and not subscribed, but anyways, everyone you watch says the same thing and it's for a reason. But just want to say thank you. We're going to keep doing it regardless, but the more support we have, the better. And Alexander, today we're going to go back and look at who we have to choose from in the playoffs. We're going to be picking our 1 through 7 in the AFC and NFC. We'll then be picking the championship games, our Super Bowl matchup, and our way, way too early Super Bowl prediction. If you people want to put a lot of stock into this, great, make you some money. But at the end of the day, things change and happen all throughout a season. But we both did predict the Super Bowl winner last year. I'm just saying, we literally picked preseason who was going to win it all. And I don't really know what else to say other than if you listen to us all throughout last year, collectively, we were like 62% on games that we required ourselves to pick and pick the Super Bowl winner. So, like, very profitable business. But besides that, Alexander, is there anything that has happened in this past week that has made you feel any differently about these teams? I'll run through really quickly the teams you're deciding between. In the AFC, you have I'm just going to read them in the order they're listed of how we went through the divisions. You have the Texans, Colts, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Ravens, Bengals, Bills, and Jets. So 2 of those cannot make it. And the NFC, you have the 49ers, Rams, Eagles, Bucks, Falcons, Vikings, Lions, and Packers. And only one of those will not make it. So a little more selective for you there with your NFC teams. Anything changed drastically for how you see these teams, maybe where they're placed if they make the playoffs or not?
Nothing changed drastically, but at the very beginning, I was iffy on our decision when we did a certain division. I'm still iffy on it, but end of the day, I made a prediction early on. I'm gonna stick with it. It might just mean in the playoffs the other team makes it further.
Yeah, and again, we will do this again before the actual playoffs, but it's preseason, so it does show more than anything how we feel about these teams going into the year, and so as we discuss them and analyze them, it might be important to know the vantage point we're looking at them from. But for myself, I only feel better about some of the picks I made. Um, if your fan base doesn't make the playoffs, good. Subscribe. Let us know why we're wrong and why we don't know what we're talking about. Again, we did pick the Super Bowl winner. But, Alexander, you want to start NFC this time? I know you said that earlier. So, do you still want to go NFC first?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Finally get some love for the NFC. All right, Alexander. So, who do you have as your NFC champion, the number 1 seed? And then you can just kind of go through the division winners, wild card, and we'll wait for the Super Bowl matchups till after.
All right, my 1 through 4 seeds based off division winners that I predicted. I have the Philadelphia Eagles as the 1 seed. I have the Minnesota Vikings as the 2 seed. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as my 3 seed, and I have the San Francisco 49ers as my 4 seed.
All right, Alexander. And who are your three wildcard teams in the NFC this year?
My 3 wild cards that I ended up deciding on, and I placed them as 5 through 7 as follows. I have the Detroit Lions as my 5 seed, the Green Bay Packers as my 6 seed, and making it as the last team is the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know how you were going to go with that. All right. I will run through my NFC and then we'll talk about how we see that matching up. In the NFC, I'll go in the same order as you, 1 through 7. For 2025 NFC predictions this year, I have the number 1 seed as the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2 seed, I have the San Francisco 49ers. The 3 seed, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the 4 seed, winning a very tough NFC North, the Green Bay Packers. Speaking of the NFC North, the 5th seed, the first wildcard spot, does still go to the Detroit Lions. The 6th seed, the boys from the desert, the Arizona Cardinals, is the 6th seed this year in the playoff. And the 7th seed, the Los Angeles Rams.
A
All right.
Viking hate you have, bro.
All right. Before we get any further, so it looks like we only have one different playoff team, and it's my 6th seed and your 2 seed. Okay. All right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, you're calling it Viking hate. Like, I don't know. You have 3 teams from the same thing again. Anyways. All right. We will
It's
kind
the
of.
best division.
It was last year. It's new year, bro. You just gonna pick everything the same? Oh, no spoilers. All right, AFC, Alexander. I'm gonna let you start with this one as well. Kind of same format.
All right. 2025, I'm going to kick it off with my division winners. I'm going to rank them 1 through 4. The 1 seed, the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
My 2 seed, the Buffalo Bills. My 3 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. And my 4 seed, the Houston Texans. Jumping down to the wild card, my 5 through 7, I have in the 5 spot the Denver Broncos. In the 6th spot, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. And in the 7th spot, barely squeaking it in, the defense does just enough, the Cincinnati Bengals.
okay. There was a team that I wasn't sure how high. A team you picked 2nd overall in their division that did not make it. So I didn't know if you were gonna finally go with them or not. I did not as well, and that's the New York Jets. They're omitted for my team as well. But in the AFC for 2025, I have the playoff teams, the number 1 seed, Buffalo Bills. Number 2 seed, the Baltimore Ravens. The 3 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. The 4 seed, the Houston Texans. The wild card winners, my 5 seed is the Los Angeles Chargers. The 6 seed, the Denver Broncos. And the 7 seed, the New England Patriots. They kept the Bengals out of the playoffs last year in week 1. They're going to keep them out of the playoffs this year in week 18 when they win a clutch game to get in as the last seed in the AFC. Drake May, greater than Joe Burrow. That part was a joke. But what's not a joke is the defense. And Vrabel, greater than Zach Taylor. The Bengals, it's good for you not to make the playoffs because you're going to get a new head coach this year. All right. Sorry, had to get a little take in there. All right, Alexander. Who do you have? If you want to talk about kind of how the matchups would be a little bit more in depth, you can. If not, just jump right into who do you have in your NFC Championship game?
NFC Championship game. Thought about it, but end of the day, I got the 1 and the 2 seed facing off. I have the Philadelphia Eagles facing the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, we know how that's going to end. They're going to score first, and then the Eagles are going to drop 38 unanswered. We've seen that game before. In the NFC Championship game, I have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on, you may not be ready for this one, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was in between 2 teams, and I think they're a very well-rounded team. But, yeah, we'll see if the Eagles are actually able to finally beat them or not here in a second. So, AFC Championship game, who you got? Is it going to be the almighty Chiefs who, fun fact, Patrick Mahomes has been to the AFC Championship game literally every single year he's been a starter in the NFL. That's insane. In the past 2.5 to 3 years, his offense has not really been good. You think they're going to be better, whatever. AFC is talented all across. I'm very, very curious to see how we go here. So, Alexander, back to you. AFC Championship. Who you got this year?
Mm,
Try to stall for you for a second.
I know who I want, but I'm doing the bracket in my head, and for this to happen, that team would have to beat them. I feel like they would choke in that moment. So then it would leave them two and them. I hate doing it again. I'm gonna have to do my 1 and 2 seeds again based off of I don't think a certain team could beat the 3 seed that
Oh,
I have, but I really wanted to do Baltimore Ravens versus the Denver Broncos. But based off of matchups, they're going to play a week earlier than I would expect based off my bracket. So that would leave the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills.
so you're keeping Mahomes out of the AFC Championship for
Yes.
Lamar and Josh Allen.
Yep.
So you're saying right now that Patrick Mahomes will not be in the AFC Championship game for the first time in his career as a starter.
Yes. Buffalo Bills take them out.
Okay. All right. My AFC Championship game prediction is going to be the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos take out the division foe. Defense reigns supreme. We saw the Super Bowl last year. When you can overwhelm them, they have no answer for it. And if the Broncos are playing well when they get in the playoffs, their defense, what are they going to do? Who are they going to throw to? I don't know what's going to happen. I cannot believe we're sitting here. It's supposed to be a respected podcast, and we're both sitting here saying we did the prediction pod and we said Chiefs are winning the division. We'd be crazy not to. And neither of us have them in the AFC Championship game. We get it, people. We get it. But when we're right, don't forget who said it first. All right, Alexander. So you have Eagles, Vikings, and then you have Bills, Ravens. I have Eagles, Bucks, and Ravens, Broncos. So 2 of the 4 are the same. I'll let you.
So I have a question for you. You had the Broncos as your 6th seed, right? But you had the Bills as your 1 seed. So your 7 seed and wins the first round as well to make that happen? Is that what you're predicting? Because otherwise, wouldn't they just
Yeah,
play in the next round?
no, because Mike Vrabel already has beaten Lamar when he had a really, really bad team in Tennessee, and he's going to do the same thing again in the playoffs because that's what always happens to the Ravens in the playoffs. I mean, Mike Vrabel beat him with Ryan Tannehill and who knows who else was on that team. I know they had,
Okay.
Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, blah, blah. But yeah, listen, sometimes you got to make the prediction and the seeds don't matter as much. I think the Ravens and the Broncos are the best 2 teams in the AFC. Ultimately, that's why they're in the AFC Championship.
Well, you did Bills and Broncos.
No.
Oh, no, you did do Ravens and Broncos.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
did what
saying.
I wanted to do, but yours to happen, yeah, you basically said screw the seed. I'm picking what I think happens. My seeds will probably be wrong.
I mean, that's not true though. Like, they'll play them. I said the Broncos are going to upset the Chiefs. I already said that. I thought about this. The only way the Chiefs don't make it is if they lose the very first game somehow. Because they win one, they're in Super Bowl. Hey, we get it.
Yeah.
It's great. We're picking against Mahomes here. It's
Listen,
preseason. People have.
I love yours because that's what I want mine to be, but based off of how I had them seated, I couldn't see a path.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know we said the whole thing about like if the Ravens are the 1 seed, if you weren't tracking, like obviously Vrabel and that's not going to happen. Ravens are playing the Broncos. I don't know how the Bills are losing, but they're not making it. Okay, I'm not going to say anything crazy because it would probably be something bad would have to happen. But look, we're sitting here acting like that, like the Bills are guaranteed to be in the AFC Championship game. Like, I believed in the Bills last year. All right, we're taking too long. Sorry. All right, Alexander, who you got for your Super Bowl matchup?
My Super Bowl matchup will be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the it's between Ravens and Bills. All right, I got the Philadelphia Eagles facing off against the Baltimore Ravens
All right.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of got my head when you were talking about like, oh, they would have to lose to them, and I went on a whole thing about Vrabel taking out the Ravens. Whenever I have the
Yeah,
Ravens
you
take,
you crossed me up.
you confused me because you forgot that. I think you forgot that the 1 seed doesn't play anybody week 1. Anyways, oh no, it's probably because you thought I had the Ravens as the 1 seed because that's what you have.
Mhm.
Listen, it doesn't matter, guys. What matters is the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. Listen, Lamar's if they've already taken down them, that's not going to happen. Also, like, if we're being completely honest, do I think this is very possible? Yes, but like it really matters how the teams are playing going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just scarred from we're watching this after a weekend of college football where defense was just very prominent. Maybe that's really in my head right now, or I'm thinking about the Super Bowl where the Eagles dominated. But yeah, I also love the idea of Broncos Eagles Super Bowl. So you have Ravens Eagles, I have Broncos Eagles. Alexander, it's time to make your Super Bowl.
Super Bowl pick is for the Philadelphia Eagles to go back to back, baby. Let's go. Go Birds.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Eagles going back to back too. Listen, if you watch this thinking like, oh, well, maybe they won't pick them, I don't know who you think we are. And if you think, oh, it's too biased, listen, if your team wins the Super Bowl and has an extremely talented offense coming back the next year, and you believe in their defense, even though they lost some pieces, I would judge you for not picking your own team. We're not going to pick the Eagles every single year of our lives. I hope we're able to, but they're not always going to be in that position. Okay. So y'all can just back off and ride with us again. Now, Alexander, I do want to do one quick thing before we get off here. Let's live in an alternate universe reality where this isn't going to happen. Give me a different Super Bowl matchup. I guess you'll keep the AFC team the same. So who do you think would face the Ravens, and then who would win, the Ravens or that team? Because I at least want to see one different matchup from each of us, or maybe it'll be the same. Again, if you take the Eagles out, you put somebody else in the NFC Championship. Do you think they beat the Vikings, or do you think the Vikings beat them? And then if it's Vikings Ravens, who wins? I'll throw it back to you.
I mean, if I took the Eagles out, then I'd be putting in. If I took the Vikings out, I'd be putting in the Detroit Lions. So then it'd be a Vikings versus Detroit Lions matchup. I would then have to still go with the Minnesota Vikings to represent. So then it'd be the Vikings versus the Ravens. And I would have the Baltimore Ravens winning it all.
Okay. I like that. And yeah, he meant to, y'all know what he meant. It doesn't matter what he said. All right. Yeah, I would have the Packers and the Bucks. And who would win an NFC Championship game, Packers or Bucks? So it'd be in Tampa based on my seeding. Can the Packers go in there and beat them? We've already seen them kind of get really weirdly streaky in the playoffs. Nah, Bucks still win it. Bucks still win it. And the Broncos beat the Bucks in the Super Bowl 24-3. Bucks don't
Dang,
even
you
get,
had a prediction too. Okay.
well, Bucks don't even get a touchdown. I'm just saying, like, they would have expended all their, I don't know. Listen, was this the most pointless pod we recorded this offseason? Probably. Was it necessary? Yeah, it's just something you got to do. You got to get it out. I feel way more confident, actually, like my, over-unders and predictions for divisions than picking who's going to win the Super Bowl, something that's in February, and we're recording this on September, 1st, basically. So that was our playoff prediction pod. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Remember, we will be having weekly previews and recaps every week, Mondays and Fridays. So stay tuned, stay locked in. We'll explain the format when we get into it, but we're picking a few games a week. Ride with it, follow us. I'm so excited for football. I'm so ready, so glad it's back. Alexander, I'm going to end this the same way I've ended every offseason episode, and that's giving you 30 seconds to a minute to say whatever's on your mind, football related or not. Floor is yours.
What's on my mind is when you just have those moments when you're just like walking down a set of stairs and you just drop something and then it just explodes everywhere and it just ruins the mood, just really just puts you in a bad mood. And the reason I bring that up is, what gets you out of that mood is remembering that football starts less than a week. That's right. Football's here. Use it to help you cheer up. I mean, if you pull for a bad team, just watch the other games so you can cheer up that way, I guess. I don't know. Luckily, I don't pull for a bad team. But with all that said, we're hogging off, Piglets.